Do
Yep.
you like the Canon better than the Epsons? I have a Canon myself.
When the wide format printers started coming out in pigment prints, I actually got offered by Epson to do some of their things, their printer, and the printer I had at that time with the Epson was over 17 inches wide, you know, that desktop 17 inch. And I liked it. I thought it was quite good. But the issue that I was having with it is I had a contract with Canon for the cameras, and then they started coming out with the printers. So it just so happens, cut to today, the largest selling pigment printers on the market are Canon, and supposedly they have the greatest, you know, reviews. And I've been using them since Canon has come out with the wide format pigment printers. So I love it. The speed of it is great. The quality is amazing. And now with this new 46-inch printer, or the new group of the image prograph, or a larger format, and the inks are better. The inks were great before. I had no issue with it. But the blacks don't scratch. Well, I'm sure they will if you use them with diamonds, you know. But it's not like the trouble that I had with the blacks where they would scratch easily or whatever before. So I love it. I can't compare it to the new Epson, but it's a great printer. But the great thing about this printer, it takes two. I have canvas up here, and I have another paper up here. I think I have the juniper, which is semi-gloss here, and it automatically reads which paper, and it switches the papers for me. So I can go between one to the next without stopping doing different rolls. So it's amazing. That's the second roll below it. And here you can see the window on top. It's the canvas and the Moab juniper as the second roll on the bottom.
One thing that I guess we haven't mentioned yet in this meeting yet is how much, I guess you could say, trial and error goes into printing. And Annie, I'm sure you know this, but different papers give different qualities and different finishes. And I'm mentioning this because Oleg in the chat says his favorite paper is the Moab Luster Exhibition 300. And he likes the shine and the paper feel. He thinks juniper is interesting too. And Robert, we worked with the Luster Exhibition,
right,
for a little while. And then we moved away from it. And now we use juniper. But was that what it was that we always did for the fashion images? Because we kind of separate the images that we print with, the papers, through categories or through genres. Not always, but a lot of the times when we're using, say, a semi-gloss with fashion images, and I think that's what we were using for fashion exclusively. We didn't use the luster paper for really anything else. And now we use juniper a lot for fashion.
I said interesting portrait and composition, not the typical model / subject that you would use in a commercial ad, but I like that it isn't typical. I believe you could add more drama in this if you played with the colors, contrast, etc., or maybe in black and white. Because I had it in close, you could see the reflection of the people more, and also since it's that kind of a character, it's not the typical model, which could be good, but I think it needs a little more exaggeration and either being black and white or a color shift on it that I felt was good. But I like the way he placed it and everything else. And then here, I love to put down Ken here because so Ken wrote, "Just Do It." That's his title. And he said, after years of wearing this, blah, 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 like that. And here's this. And my comment was, the copy makes the image, but yet, of course, the character of the shoes is what's strong. Knowing Ken's creative ability, the shoes should be sitting on some kind of great sunlight near an open door with perhaps directional light hitting an additional drama to it, and an interesting floor as a background, and it could be that way. It could be a strong image. By the way, the headline should be "Just Did It," because of not "Just Do It," "Just Did It." Well, that should be the headline for it. But the idea of this was great because Ken applied his style to it by doing I got to do it this way, by doing this one. because I said, here's one that he applied his style to it. This is something you don't see in a magazine, and it typifies using your style for it.
Yeah.
Right? You guys agree with that?
Yeah, totally.
And then Russ did this, and I thought this was great. Now I wanted to ask him about it. Let me see. It's a great image. I like to hear more about it. Everything is so beautiful. The lighting on the cobblestone, of course, the car, all capturing and literally interpreting literally interpreting the copy. This is another example of how the copy is important to its commercial application. And because the title is 2024, Audi is one hot car. And it was shot beautifully. Now, Russ, let me ask you.
Okay.
Did you happen to walk by this car and see it, or?
No, actually, it's a friend of mine works at a dealership, and then the guy purchased it, wanted some pictures done, so he contacted me, and he had a cobblestone driveway, so he took it over there. And first thing I did is I wet down the cobblestone to give it some reflectiveness. And because stone is pretty much flat unless you get some water to it. And then I, using layers, I create a different backdrop. And of course, I masked the flames and the smoke in, because you cannot want to lay up a $140,000 car.
Oh, how disappointing.
The budget was a little too much for it. And I think about it, it's like, okay, it's an S model, which is a sports model, so it's high-end, high-powered. And I thought it's like spinning his tires and smoking and flames coming out of it. And that's what the thought I had behind it. And I used a mask to add those flames and smoke to it.
I was great. You did a beautiful job on it, and I love the the title with it, the copy. It's beautifully done.